Hello viewers, welcome back. This is Genesis Vocals episode, what's this now? Episode 4.
Wow.
Episode 4. I am with CEO and ex-commando Guy Di Salvo. And Guy, please tell them a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, so at the age of 17 joined the Navy, became a medic and did the commando training for 5 years, and then joined the fire service once I left the Navy at the age of 23, and just recently retired after nearly 30 years in the fire service. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Retirement? I didn't even know that was the news.
Yeah, retired. Well, that's why I'm smiling.
Okay, there we go. Guys, another fantastic guest, and we have lots of insight for you. Okay, Guy, you have come in today because you, like myself, we met at the Leicester Business Show.
Yes, that's right.
And it was, in my opinion, it was absolutely fantastic, especially the segment where Stephen was at the front and he made us all introduce each other.
Yes.
And that, in my opinion, is like how me and you first came into contact and started talking to each other.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And how many of you guys were there at the?
There was just me. So in my company, Hyde Group Limited, I'm the owner, the founder. However, I have affiliates, I call them affiliates, that have got a similar background to me, fire service and emergency services. So they come and work for me on a contractual basis.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was just me representing the company that day.
Okay, alright then. And then, but you stuck around for the further talk, which was the mental health fire talk.
Yeah.
And that was quite deep, guys. It was, but it was real.
Yeah.
It was very real, but it was very pragmatic, especially when you're in a very stressful position, like any emergency services, like running your own business.
Yes, that's right.
And identifying the way you should go on about that in a healthy and constructive tone.
Yes.
So it was absolutely it was fantastic, and that's where I stood up, I said,
that was good.
And then, so there we go. All I did was be authentic, and he just showed me his authenticity back. And now we're here, about 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it must be,
So it was insane.
It's gone quick.
So, let's get right into the gritty. So, first question. How would you recommend someone angle their thought process when they're making an investment of any kind? Not just stocks and shares, not just buying a house. We're talking an investment in learning a new skill, investment in going into a new place, investment in taking up a new exercise routine. What should be your thought process when doing that?
I would say, and that's what I've done, research. Speak to a lot of good people, take a lot of feedback as well, and sometimes the feedback might appear negative, but if it's coming from a good place, it can be really helpful. So let's say if you wanted to invest in a property, you need to make sure, have you got the funds to do it? Have you got the funds to renovate it if it needs renovation? Is it in the right area? What are the schools like? Would you be able to sell this house once you've renovated it? So it's all about putting a lot of hard work into researching and spending time and being honest with yourself. Right, is this a good idea? And ask other people that you respect for their opinions on it. So it's research really.
Research.
Yeah, for me, and have that research questioned by those people you trust. Yeah.
That's good. So when someone does come and say something that, like you said, it isn't what you want to hear.
No.
But objectively, it might be absolute gold.
Yeah.
How's best to implement there? How much should you weight that opinion over the opinions that you did like? If that makes sense.
You just try and pick out the points that you know that's going to be helpful, even those points you don't like. But if you review it, go back to review it like a day or two later with a fresh mind. You've had a bit of a sleep, and you've done other things. You've cleared your mind. Go back, and you'll probably see it slightly differently and think, oh, okay, actually there are some good points there that could help me in my next venture.
For me personally, I'm a sleeper. Sleeping resets me.
Yeah,
Absolutely resets me.
Definitely,
like more than me gaming, more than me running.
Yeah.
Sleep. I don't know. It's like I'm a different person.
Yes.
So that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
That is really.
Yeah.
Guys, if you take anything away from this and you're doing, you're looking to make an investment, research.
Yeah.
As you said.
Yeah.
Get a lot of thoughts and opinions from loads of people, and even if you have thoughts that you don't like, note it down. Get some rest. Go do something else. Whatever relaxes you, whatever resets you. Look at it again.
Yeah.
Because it actually might be the key.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So,
completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Right. We got the second one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of on the same kind of wavelength. How important would you stress further reading? So this is just further reading. This is looking at articles. This is looking at videos. This is going out there and doing your own field work.
Yeah.
How important is that for someone to succeed?
It's really important, and it's something that should never stop. You should be constantly trying to improve your knowledge and education about everything. You'll be better for it. The more you know, the better the decisions you'll be able to make. That's what all it is. It's all about information, gaining that information. It's like when I was in the fire service, if you turn up to a house fire and there's all kinds of things going on, you've got families shouting at you, you've got someone to rescue from the bedroom, the fire needs to be dealt with, there's cars going up and down, there's people on the phones recording you, there's the police that you need to speak to, there's the ambulance service you need to get. There's a lot on. But you have to get the information first to create a plan. And then it's relatively straightforward. I mean, it sounds horrendous, but it's no harder than someone with their own business having to work through all these problems and coming up with a plan.
Wow, that is okay. Just walk me through a rudimentary procedure when you get the alert that there's a building on fire and someone is in trouble.
Okay, I'll make this as quick and short as possible, but it actually starts from the fire station. So you're at the fire station, there's 4 of you normally. So there's the driver, officer in charge, and 2 of the firefighters in the back. They're the ones that commit to the building or the room that's on fire. You get the information, what incident you're dealing with, where it is, and any other added information. And on the way you're discussing about a plan you're going to do.
Right.
Do you know where it is? Yeah, I know where that is, Guy. It's down that street. We can't go that way because it's now got road work. So you have to go another way, and the driver's working out what they have to do. And then you're discussing the plan just before you pull up. Say, right, you 2 sort out the water, driver, get on the radio, I'll go and information gather. So then you hit the ground running. So then you've got to get all this information, right? What's on fire? Where's the fire? Where's best access? How do I get into the house? Anybody that needs rescuing. So you get those first initial steps of information, and then you can start to create a plan, and then you tell your 2 firefighters what you'd like them to do. They'll go into the house, deal with and carry out your plan. And then meanwhile there'll be other things you need to carry, like I mentioned earlier, the police hopefully will be coming on scene, the ambulance will be coming on scene to deal with the casualty, and obviously there'll be family members and animals possibly to deal with. But you practice. You train hard, you fight easy. It's that simple.
Train hard, fight easy.
Yeah. That's a common. People say that a lot, and it does work.
Train hard, fight easy. Okay, that is. Well, thank you. That was wow.
Was that
That's
a bit?
A lot. It sounds like a lot. Like for all of that to be on an ad hoc basis.
Yeah.
But the stakes, that's the thing. Is there's an ad hoc basis, there's many jobs where you just go there and you make up something on the fly. But especially when you're dealing with fire, that's just the stakes are high immediately.
I mean, this might be helpful. So we work on it. It's called the decision control process. Now it sounds really complicated. It's not. It can't be for my small brain. And I find it really easy to use. So you work through 3 things initially: the situations, and you can use this in business. Right, what am I dealing with? What are the hazards I need to be aware of? What do I need to deal with this situation? What resources? Like today, you've brought your audio and visual equipment to carry out a podcast with me. So then you've got those three things. Then you need to work out your objectives. Right, what do I need to do? Right, my objective today is to interview Guy at the Holiday Inn in Wigston. Right, okay, so what are my priorities? Well, I need to get there first. And I need to consider the weather and traffic conditions and all that. So you work out your priorities. Then once you've worked out your objectives, what you need to do, and the order they need to be carried out, you've got your plan. So you just instigate your plan. And then all you need to remember is if you've got a plan to carry out with other people, you need to make sure that they're aware of it, communicate. Don't assume they know.
But they probably don't.
Yeah, that's right. So just communicate that plan. And once you've done that, it more or less runs itself. But just remember to evaluate it as it goes along. And you can do that in business. It works quite easy.
You know what?
Does that help?
That explains more than just what I asked you. This explains why we're even having this interview.
Right.
Because it's that exact kind of process is what we went through before coming here. Like
yes,
we
that's
spoke
right.
on this
Yeah.
like 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Send possible drafts of questions.
Yeah.
You got back to me saying, "Oh, these ones are the best ones I probably can answer."
Yeah.
Went through the timing, went through the location, then I went, right, gotta get the ticket for that time, gotta tell these people this, that, gotta check with Guy, is he still
You've actually done it, haven't you?
He's done it already.
Yeah.
But that is I'm gonna read that back, that's probably gonna get edited. And I'm gonna put that on like a wall.
Yeah.
And put that in like the notes on my computer, because that is very, because when you get big problems, there's a lot of clutter.
Yes.
You think, oh my god, there's this, I don't know about that, and I don't know about this. And we like to wait until things are perfect before we go and do anything.
Yeah.
But this is just a much more objective based kind of go.
Yeah.
And you will get somewhere. It may not be like the most perfect best result you can.
That's right.
But it will be better than what it was 10 minutes ago.
Exactly. You made a decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'm learning a lot. Big question. So, balance is the most important element that we know for success. However, a lot of us don't practice it. Even myself, in the job that I was in before, I was working like 8.5 hours, but I'm waking up at 6:30 to get ready to get there for 9. Then when I finish at 5, I actually getting back home at 7. And then having to do everything that I want to do, plus the stuff with like this interview stuff, the business, and then go back to sleep. And it doesn't sound healthy, but I do try and maintain balance in the finer things. I have music, I have whatever. How would you go about finding that kind of balance? Is there any kind of indicators that you're off balance, or is there any kind of indicators that, or maybe I'm taking too much leisure, maybe I need to kind of rope myself back in?
I think it probably comes down to having a bit of a plan and a routine. If you have a routine and a plan, like a routine would be part of it you're doing already. For me, a routine would be doing the work, evaluating it, and then possibly having some downtime. Well, I call it the third place.
The third place?
My third place. Someone mentioned it, so I'm going to steal it. I can't remember who it was. Third place. Okay. So my third place is, once I've done all the work, I need to get away from that kind of work, because both of us are busy, and I understand how you're incredibly busy. So my third place is fitness. I'll go running, or is renovation work on my house. I find that so satisfying and relaxing, and no one's bothering me, and just listen to the radio, and I just crack on with whatever I'm doing at the time. So
that is
find
very
that
proactive third place. That's a very, my mum would love that third place. Renovate the house, paint the walls, and listen to whatever, but then you've got something done and something looks better.
Exactly.
Okay. Find the third, guys. Find your third place. And the more proactive the third place, the better it is. Like, it doesn't have to materialistically bring you to somewhere further. But like I said, like the music, like playing games, like you said, renovating the house, fitness. it's very good.
Yeah, makes you feel
very
better.
good. Yeah. As long as it's not like a bad consumable, alcohol, all of that. So that's, while that is a third place, it's not the best third place because it can go to a fifth place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, completely agree. Yeah,
go to a very dark place.
Yeah.
So it's really
definitely.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Third place, I will be using that. A third place. Okay. A third place. I like that. Right. So as an entrepreneur, and I think this is where me and you in that Less Than a Business show, there might have been 60 of us in the room. But then there might have been 12, 13 that kind of had this in mind when going through this. What is the most effective way to give back to the community, for the community? What do you find the community responds best with when you try and give something back?
I think for me, try and use something of the skills you've got. So, in the fire service, you have to be able to speak and work with all kinds of people, as in people that think they're very important and got lots of money, or people that are just like me and you, everyday man, woman, child on the street. So, because hopefully I can communicate with people pretty easily, I've looked into, and I've just started, I've got an interview next week, of being a mentor to...
Congratulations.
Well, hopefully to...
It's going to go well.
Hopefully to... I'm not sure of the age group, but I think it's a young person, so it'll be someone from 18 onwards. So, and I'd like to help them and show them what's possible. I'm not going to shout about it from the rooftops, I know I've mentioned it on here, but I'm trying to use some of the skills I've learned through being in the armed forces, resilience, and in the fire service as well, So, I can tell them, I know you probably are in a dark place, but I've been there too. And, you can back it up with stories and things like that. So, just use the skills that you've got to help people as well. So.
That right there, I've been to 2 business shows,
right,
and in both a mentor was very stressed. Like, a mentor was like, it's the treasure that entrepreneurs kind of look for. It's kind of like the big thing now. Getting a mentor, getting someone that kind of guides you through the process, all that. But now I'm interviewing someone that's going through a course of being a mentor, and I would have never thought that a mentor would go through a course to become a mentor. But learning, if I didn't come here today, I wouldn't have known that. And now I know. So that is, it's just, you never know what you're going to learn.
No.
You never know what you're going to learn.
Every day is a school day, isn't it?
Every single day is a school day.
Definitely.
So mentoring, and I think going off the script, so when it comes to mentoring, the reason why I do what I do is because I found that the mentoring in, your rudimentary educational system isn't enough. Especially for a world that is completely transforming all the time, that's way more complex than it's made out to be. Like, this is from anything from having a general conversation with someone, there's actually a lot more moving parts than you realise, to getting work done, to meeting deadlines, to finding balance between work and all this stuff. You won't touch it in primary school, secondary school, college, university, and I just finished the whole rota thing like a few months ago. So the fact that you've said about mentoring struck a nerve with me, and I know it struck a nerve with a lot of people that are on here, because anyone watching this is watching it because they believe the same thing, that they believe that there is way more to learn than what that system has given us. And it's just talk to me a little bit about what kind of complexities did you find when you started off, when you left school? What was the first things where you went, oh, this is a lot more different than I thought it would be. This is not how it was like back in college, back in uni, back in wherever, you know what I mean? What was the first?
Well, I went straight from school at the age of 16 to apprenticeship electrician for about a year. But I realised I'd either kill myself or somebody, because I was awful. It wasn't very good. But yeah, it's a real shock, isn't it? It's like the world of work. I was like, wow, I have to look after myself. I have to do this. I have to be on time, or mum and dad aren't here anymore. Mum and dad can't help you.
They can't. Not when you step in that building.
No,
they can give you advice.
Yeah,
they
that's
can comfort
it. Yeah,
you, but when you leave the house,
you can be on your own, and it feels like it, and that's where mentoring can help. A sounding board. Someone to say, I've been there. And I know it's really hard, but you'll get through because I did. But yeah, the world now is even more complex, isn't it?
I don't even recognise it after.
No.
I don't recognise it.
No. It's, the internet, the mobile phones, social media. Wow, if I'd spoken to myself 30 years ago about it, I wouldn't have believed you. Well, you got a phone. Well, it's not really a phone, it's a computer. You just happen to be able to make phone calls with it. And you can speak to anybody with a camera.
And they can see
to anyone in the world. And you can speak to each other and see and take videos and create films and it's a complex world.
Ask anything, even AI.
Oh God, yeah,
it's different. Even I'm kind of taken aback, by how the utility of it is. I get why people are scared.
Yeah.
But it's the utility of it is just like you said, 10 years ago. No way am I thinking I'm going to ask something to make something for me. This is something out of a film. This is from Iron Man 1. Like, you know what I mean? Only a billionaire could possibly make this. Now everyone has
access to it,
It's insane. Flying cars in X, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. You never know. You never know. We say that, I won't believe you. The flying cars are in the roads.
I actually, to be honest, you talk about flying cars. When I joined the fire service, in 1994. And there was a film out before I joined the fire service. It was Back to the Future.
Okay.
Remember those films? There was one of those films where they had those there were skateboards, but they were like hoverboards.
Yes.
So they hovered, and I thought before I left the fire service, we were all gonna have one. We were all gonna have one, and that's how we were gonna travel to fires. It's like, come on, lads, all rocket suits. No.
Not yet.
Disappointed.
Not yet. There's few constraints, but things are
happening.
Changing. Yeah. I saw. I was watching Top Gear, and there was they've got the semi aqua vehicles.
Oh
the hover van. But before I watched it, I was just thinking that there's no way a car could float in the water. And there you go, the car's floating in the water. It's only a Bond film, but it's made of a toy and it goes underneath. No, there it is. And I know that it's gone way further than that. Way further. I think I saw a quad bike that can turn into a jet ski.
Wow.
You can ride it to wherever you want to go.
That's cool. That is.
It's insane.
Cool.
It's insane. But like we were saying, even on that tangent, further reading.
Yeah, definitely.
Research. The world is always changing.
Yeah.
We got to change with it.
Yeah, you got to keep up to date. Definitely keep
as up to date as possible. In good measure, though. Don't go too crazy.
No.
Then you might lose yourself a bit.
Paranoid.
We're all doomed. I think that's what happens when you go when you see how far we can actually go. I think some people kind of lose faith and just go, God, we've gone too far. Well, there we go. Let me get the other one. So, okay, before we go to this one, I want to touch on your experience as a commando.
Okay.
Now, when I know something important is happening, and this is me being very open and very personal, I call it the jitters, but it's like a combination of the jitters, almost borderline stomach ache, kind of
stress,
insane, I can't sleep, I don't want to eat. Now, as a commander, knowing what's on the line, knowing where you are, knowing that at any time in the blink of an eye, you could be gone, your whole platoon could be gone, this building could be gone, all these innocent people could be gone. How did you what would you tell yourself? What's kind of the mantra to kind of go calm is key?
You're trusting your training. I mean, the training to be pass out as a commando, or where you get your green beret, is quite tough. Not that I'm tough, if you want me to help you in a bar fight, I'll probably just drag you out and we'll run off. So it's really tough, the training, and it builds real strong resilience where you're never going to give up. You are never going to give up, because you don't want to let yourself down, you don't want to let your friends down. When you go on operations, you don't go on operations to serve king and country or queen and country. You go on there, for a bit of excitement, but the priority is your friends, the person next to you. You don't want to let them down. So you might show fear, but you don't let the fear overcome. You deal with it. You embrace it. So sometimes it's tough, but you embrace it, and you're constantly reminded when you're down at Limson, because that's where you do commando training. You're constantly reminded about the history of commando forces, because commando forces are not just Royal Marine commandos. Anyone can be a commando.
Okay.
And it first started during the Second World War, where Churchill wanted to set Europe ablaze when we were just on our own. So he came up with the idea of commandos, and so you taught about the history, and some of the things they did were quite impressive. And then Korea, Northern Ireland, the Falklands, and obviously recent conflicts. So you also don't want to let them down as well. Mm-hmm. So I suppose that's how you deal with it. There's been a few times where you're absolutely very scared. But you just got to crack on with it. You just crack on with it, because he's probably scared as well. So you just help each other through it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I get that.
But it's not all the time.
No, of course.
So there's a lot of in the military. You say, hurry up and wait. You're waiting around a lot. If you could turn it to a 24-hour clock, and compared to the girls and boys that went out to Afghanistan and Iraq, I've not seen anything where near what they've been through. Mine was just a couple of operations. But I was trying. What was I saying?
The clock.
Yeah, the clock. Sorry, apologies. So the clock is like how I relate to it. It's a 24-hour clock. 23 hours and 55 minutes is waiting. 5 minutes is sheer terror.
Oh my God.
Sheer terror.
So you're waiting for that long.
And it can be anything. It's. I was and still am. I don't like heights.
Oh.
No, I don't like heights at all.
Did you have to parachute out of?
Yes, that was horrendous. My lad as well. He's just finished the Royal Marines. He was in the Marines.
Okay, he joined as well. All right.
He joined the Marines. So I remember I passed commando training, and you're asked where would you like to go. So he put all these units, and the last unit at the bottom of the list it's where the mountain leaders, so the specialists in the mountains and the Arctic. So I said, well, I don't want to be one of their medics, because they go parachuting into mountains. I don't like heights. Well, guess where they sent me? Hilarious.
They like
someone's got a sense of humour.
He doesn't like heights, right? That would be perfect.
It was.
So you parachute into a mountain.
Well, you can do, I didn't do that many parachute jumps. I did, the basic course was about 9 jumps, and then we went to France. We jumped in France as well. That was nice, because their parachutes are nice and soft. You just land really soft. The British ones, it's
you're just going in.
You might as well not wear one. You hit the ground that hard.
Oh, really?
But they're very safe. They always open. So that's the
comfort. Comfort, but might not open. And then uncomfortable, but we're always open. I guess you would say uncomfortable.
So I didn't do a great deal of parachuting, but it was kind of fun in a way.
I can imagine. It's like going down a roller coaster.
Worse. Was a bit.
Way worse.
Oh
my God. So is it like wait for the light to turn on and then
it's
directing you?
It's a bit like in the films. It's red on. Your red light comes on, so you're up. You stand up. You've got your chute on already. You clip on with your static line, because as you exit the aircraft, your parachute's connected to in the aircraft, and it pulls out your chute as you exit. So you're not pulling it yourself, it's automatically pulled, it's static.
So that's why it looks
line.
like, I've seen that when they do like displays, like their parachute will come out almost, or you see the string.
That's it, that's
so
it.
that makes sense. I didn't know that, I thought they just pulled it very early.
Yeah, and then green light on, then you just go in order, whatever order you're in,
Okay.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it sounds fucking crazy. So let's get into the nitty gritty. So when it does come, we did talk about brotherhood and stuff, but what kind of practical techniques do you use?
Oh, right.
And there's no right or wrong answer. This isn't the best technique, the worst technique. But what kind of practical techniques do you find very effective to kind of?
Yeah, okay. So in the fire service, I'll go to that because I spent a lot more time in the fire service, and the majority of my career I spent as crew manager, which you are mainly the incident commander and the initial incident. And so you can imagine you turn up to whatever incident, whether it's a road traffic collision or a house fire, etc. It's fast moving, there's a lot of things going on, and you have a lot of information to gather and process and come up with a plan. So I take a deep breath. I take a deep breath, and we call it taking a knee in the fire service, and it's just okay, right, what have we got? And the reason you take a breath is you're slowing your heart rate down, you're introducing more oxygen to your brain, which makes you better at making decisions. You know, you calming your heart rate down, you'll make better decisions. So that's how I do it. Take a breath, take a knee, and just go through the process and trust the process that you've been trained with, because we're testing it all the time as well. So the fire service, we're not just there sitting at a table, me and you, we're in the fire brigade together.
Waiting for the
I'm a bit bored, Pierce, so blimey. You're training all the time, or certainly we did. We trained all morning, and you're testing each other as well. So, you may have set up a training session to test my skills out, and vice versa.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so it's constantly evolving, and it'll be based on like some of the more difficult instances that you've had.
Yeah, definitely.
We had an op in Shoeburyness. It was a multi-story flat. It had multiple security locks. Lift wasn't working. Let's try it. We make this drill to see how we would go about it this time compared to last time.
It's exactly like that. Yeah, that's good.
That gives me
like you've done it before.
No. I was just thinking, like you said, the 3Ds. How would I get to that? Get to be improving, especially in an evolving thing like the fire service. When I used to work in construction, my first ever job. Thank you, Dad. My first ever job. We didn't necessarily do that. They weren't that organised, but you could see from the way they were talking that they would base previous roofs that they worked on the roof that they were looking at right now. There isn't like a set manual. You know how to use the tools, but when it comes to how are we going to make it with these kind of dimensions, which are completely different from the other dimensions, you base it off similar shapes. So when it comes to the fact, how easy or difficult is it to prepare a drill meeting the conditions of a building, for example? Because I would think it'd be pretty
It's
hard.
not too bad, as long as you can transplant the vision you've got to the team you're delivering it to, and that can be, we'll use YouTube videos, we'll just use a whiteboard where we're drawing the incident, or we'll go to an industrial park and talk through an incident. What would you do? So it needs to be quite a visual thing.
Visual.
And we like to also and it used to happen to me and everyone else I used to work with, and there were some really intelligent men and women that I work with, so if you weren't up to your game, they'd tell you.
I don't know.
But what they used to really like is you'd be taking the part of an incident commander. They've created this incident for you, and it's going well, and you think, smash this, and then they'll just drop something in, and it's just like a rabbit in the headlights. Right, now what do I do? But it's building the resilience to deal with things like that.
That are completely out. When I was training at the job I was in now, we have like a table plan, and he asked me, Pierce, where's table 88? Now, the tables only go up to the 10 number, like 10, 20, 30, 40.
Oh yeah.
And then 5. So I was kind of looking for table 88, and I was stressing out because where is this table 88? Like, I studied the table plan for a week. It doesn't exist.
No.
And it's just getting you ready for when you are in a fast spinning move. You kind of like, but it's an ad hoc basis.
Yeah.
You're just learning. When you can, and then you need those not rabbit in the headlight. Sorry, you need those pin drop moments.
Yeah, definitely.
You need those things you don't expect.
Yes.
Because that's even for the viewers. When you're going about striving to do something, there is always going to be that something comes in and you're like,
yes.
What's that?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
That was in no calculation. That was in no research.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
And going about it is, like you said, there's loads of stuff I can take away from what you said. Take a breath.
Yeah.
More oxygen to the brain, lowers the heart.
Yeah.
Think about how objectively you can solve things. Preparation.
Exactly.
What materials you need, where you need to be, who you need to communicate to get to that situation.
Yeah.
Know that why you're doing what you're doing. You know, whether you're doing it for your family, whether you're doing it for your brothers in arms, whether you're doing it for your team, whether you're doing it for your company, whether you're doing it for your culture, whether you're doing it for whoever. Know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it will just help you. And even if you don't complete that task to the best of your ability, learn from it.
Yeah.
And practice doing the thing that you find uncomfortable.
Yeah, definitely. And 2 things that I've took away from working with some really good people is failure's great. Failure's a really good teacher. It helps you with success. It's my biggest teacher that I always look for is failure. Right, I failed then, why? And I've learnt from it. It's a massive help to me is failing. It's not a negative. It's
Turn
a really
your weakness into a strength.
Yeah, definitely.
It is your strength.
Yeah. And also, as you mentioned it, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're comfortable with being uncomfortable, as in like, if you don't like public speaking, but you do it, well that's it. You're doing it. So just be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just know how you want to do it.
Yeah.
And the good points on how to do it.
Exactly.
Even if you're inside, you're feeling like, I am going to implode now, and I want this floor to take me away.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Do it, and put your soul into it, and get what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
It was. I'll tell you a story, and you viewers as well, which they'll know. So on episode 1 of this interview channel, I had 2 Americans on here, 2 people from Atlanta. Now in America, their mannerisms are very like, hello, hi guys, hi, how you doing? Like they're very bombastic.
Yeah.
Very bombastic, very open. They came to here for a business show in Excel, the Black Business Show.
Yeah.
And everyone in London, as you could imagine, because you're not always in London, and I wouldn't give it off, but very null, very dull, very keep to yourself, don't want to stick out, it's a bad thing to stick out. They started to kind of take that in, and they started to slowly mellow out, and I grabbed them and I was like, look, listen, you're here to do a job, you're here to get what you can get out of this expo, out of the people talking. So ask your questions, interact with them as they're asking us to interact with us, shout out, nugget, shout out what you need to shout out, be you.
Yes.
Be you, because no one else is going to help you improve but yourself. Obviously people will, but you need to take that initiative and be comfortable with being uncomfortable if you know it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, completely agree,
Thank you. So what you said right now, and this is why I think you're more of an excellent speaker than I actually imagined this happening, because the advice you've given is very practical, and it's very much based on getting your weaknesses, getting your failures, getting the stuff you don't know, your unknown, that you're uncomfortable with, and making yourself be stronger.
Yes.
And I think that's just that is a very vital. It's not just a skill. It's like a learning curve.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not something that you can read.
Or
go through enough to understand. you have to constantly go through
Yeah.
it until you
Yeah.
drop.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So, absolutely the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have got. Do we even have any? No, you've done. We've hit all the points. Now I haven't even realised that we've hit all the points.
Hopefully it's been helpful, you know.
Insanely helpful.
Oh,
absolutely
great.
Insanely helpful. We've got a lot. You've given a lot. You've given back to a community that you don't even know.
Yeah.
And your own community, if they ever do pop on the channel, pop on the page, pop on my page, they can soak this in. Everyone from every age group, of every background, anything can soak this in and make the world just that little bit better.
Let's hope so, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Guy.
It's been a pleasure, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much. And from me and Guy, have a wonderful day.
Thank
guys?
you.